I've never hated a player that I care about less than just five.
You've heard Mets fans say for years they felt like you were trying to edge for like an appearance as a Met.
I always thought about what would it be like if this happened, and then ever since I've gotten here, it's been amazing. The guys are great, the staff's great, and just looking forward to helping the team any way I can.
Nick Castellanos, another former teammate of yours.
Deep drive. I call him deep drive.
Do you?
Deep drive.
All right, so is he gets it, right? Does he like it? Does he hate it?
I don't want to speak on him for that.
Sure.
Every time he hits a home run, you could go Google something bad happening in the world.
Hey, we're meeting at the Apple. I'm Vito Calisi. That's Jonathan Barron, and we're here with brand new Met, old friend of the Mets, Jesse Winker. Jesse, what's it like to be on this side of the clubhouse now?
It's really cool. It's really, really cool. It's something that I always thought about, what would it be like if this happened? And then ever since I've gotten here, it's been amazing. The guys are great, the staff's great, and just looking forward to helping the team any way I can.
Could already tell you're electric. We got to talk with you for about a minute before the camera started rolling, so this is going to be a fun one.
I'm going to change completely now. The camera's on.
That to us, man.
Red light guy.
Wait, you got us lathered up.
You brought up, you always thought about what it could be like. You've heard Mets fans say for years they felt like you were trying to not petition, but you were trying to edge for an appearance as a Met.
There was questions asked to me, and I was going to be completely honest how I felt about them. It's a passionate fan base. They care about their team. They care about their players. At times they dislike you on the other team. No, but it's cool, man. I wanted to always give them some love just to show them I'm not coming for your neck. I'm just doing this in fun, So it was cool. I kind of got to articulate that, and I think it was received well. And but there was still games I'd come back here and still get booed. So that's to me that's the best part, because I'd still come back here and they were like, yeah, you're a nice guy, but we still hate you. So it was it's cool.
Well, you got a nice cheer on Sunday, made your Mets debut. Take us through the whole 18 hours, the trade, the rumors break, physicals exchange, whatever, all the paperwork's done. Then you're in St. Louis at the time with the Nationals. You said you got on a plane at 7 a.m. and just take us from there, just the whole entire day.
Yeah, so fly up at 7 or 7:30 a.m., land in LaGuardia, which is great. Uber over here, and then start meeting everyone. And the game, obviously being at 1:40, it came quick, and got out there and got some work in before the game and got an AB, and it was cool to kind of, we were talking about the whole thing with JD, how he pointed at me and said, hey, you're on the TV. And it was cool that it was a cool reception, and I'm stoked to be here. And like I told you guys, I'm just, whatever I can do to help the Mets win, I'm looking forward to that.
Jesse was the subject of Core's metrics on Sunday. Now, I read that when you walked in the clubhouse, Pete Alonso yelled out a big, let's go, or something to that effect. What was it like when you first got to meet the guys and just get in there and I'm here, let's go, playoff stretch?
It's great. This is such a great time of the year for baseball. It's an exciting time, and even though I'm the new guy, I've known guys here for a while.
Yeah, who do you know on the team? I know you know Jose Iglesias. He was part of that epic May 1st game.
Yeah, I know Iggy. Yeah, he hit a homer.
He did against Diaz to tie it. That set the whole thing up, honestly.
Were you already listening to OMG before you got here?
Yeah, no. I think it was hard not to listen to it, right? It's first off, it's a great song.
Yeah, that's
right. It's hard.
It's such a positive
It doesn't
song.
work without it being a great song.
Right, it's very positive and uplifting, and, it doesn't play. You start moving once it plays, right? So you're like, all right.
Even in the other dugout, you're still feeling that same way?
For sure. I'm not going to sit here and lie.
Safe space here.
It's one of those songs that the first time I heard it, and I put two and two together. I was kind of late to the party. I don't have any social media, so I was kind of late to the whole Candelita performance and all that. But once seeing him perform it live, that was sick. And then, man, it's a good song.
Were you thinking of it in your head when you put on that Uncle Sam hat when you hit that home run?
On July 4th.
No, I wasn't. What was I thinking when I did that?
Your ownership of the pitcher you hit the home run off of?
No. I was thinking, my daughter was there. I was thinking, where are we going to watch fireworks at tonight? That's what I was thinking about, And I think we went to the pool after that, and then we figured out where. So it was cool.
That's all. A quick game, by the way. I mean,
fast game. Fast game. It was an 11 o'clock game.
Yes.
I've never experienced that, so that was cool. It was fast. Both pitchers obviously pitched really well. It was a fast one.
You excited for your daughter to see like life in New York now?
I am. I'm very excited. I think she's gonna love it. She was asking me yesterday on the FaceTime. She was like, "What's the kids' room like?" I'm like, "It's perfect. Don't worry about that. You're here to watch Dad."
How old is she?
She's 4.
Okay.
Yeah, she's cool, man. She looks like me and she acts like me. She's got a little temper.
Gonna wave at a lot of Mets fans?
Probably. No, she's cool. She's I love her a lot. She's the best thing I've ever done. She changed my life completely, and I'm thankful for the opportunity to be a girl dad.
Well, speaking of waving at Mets fans, of course, everyone knows by this point I don't want to call it an incident. It was good-hearted fun that happened back in May of 2019. So we went back in time on Twitter.com. And we
X.
We always call it Twitter.
I'm not going to call it X.
The worst rebrand in the history of rebrands. No one actually calls it X.
What do you think it should be rebranded then?
Twitter. It shouldn't be anything. It should be Twitter.
Yeah, I saw you put up a poll actually recently saying should I bring it back to Twitter? Like the action, sending a tweet, that's a thing.
Right.
I'm not sending an X, or as people try to make Z a thing for a little bit. That's awful.
Yeah.
So
I think you guys are. I'll agree with you.
This guy loves talking X's.
Yeah.
X's and O's.
Yeah.
Anyway, we went on the social
X's
media.
in Texas. All
I've
that.
only been in Texas once.
Yeah.
I have no X's.
Texas.
No X's in Texas.
That's funny.
X's in Texas.
So we pulled some tweets from some Mets fans from back in the day. And we want you to read them and kind of give your thoughts on the tweets. There's a variety. Some of them are. We try to keep it not too mean, but it feels like in the few minutes we've spent together, you can handle it. So, and we'll bleep out any bad words. So
I think add the bad words.
Well, you might think that, but there are some other people.
Regulations.
YouTube and New York Mets and MLB policies, whatever.
So at Sean McKee 26, Jesse Winker, more like Jesse Stinker, with 3 wave emojis.
Rank them for us too, like 1 to 5. Is it a stinker or is it a winker?
This I feel like this is like classic. I feel like I received this a lot. So we'll do the classics are a 3. So I'll give that a 3.
Okay, your number, by the way. We'll ask you about that after.
It's just a number.
Oh, no meaning behind it.
No meaning.
All right.
No, it was a single-digit number, and I was like, "Cool, perfect, let's do it."
All right, we won't ask you then.
The franchise K. Francis 09. Jesse Winker is the biggest loser in the MLB. That seems harsh.
That's not even close to true. I mean, come on.
But he felt this way, so we'll give him. That was probably a classic, so we'll give that a 3.
He was emotionally speaking there.
Yeah, it sounds like he doesn't know me. I feel like if we grabbed a coffee or if he's of age, a beer, I feel like he'd be like, you know what, maybe you're like top 10 loser, not number 1. So Robert Polidor, Rob from the Bronx.
Oof, already starting off bad.
Yeah,
from the Bronx.
here we go.
Yeah.
Reds, is Jesse Winker that scared that he deleted his Twitter? My son's diaper will always live in that guy's head. #Winker, #Mets. Yeah, apparently he spooked me, I guess. I don't really know.
The diaper thing was weird to me. I didn't really understand that.
It was more just we were curious if something happened with this diaper.
Yeah, no, I don't recall his son's diaper being around me.
So it's not in your head?
No, his son's diaper is not in my head.
Okay. You heard that?
His son's out of diapers now. I mean, that was 5 years ago.
Hopefully.
I guess you can't guarantee.
If he... Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Even his sons in this picture don't even look like they have diapers, of age. So
Could be a fabrication.
I think if he still has his son's diapers, we need to check in on Rob. Hopefully
we can hit him up after the show.
Yeah, hopefully everything's straight over there. Holy That's the first time. That's great. This is from Slam Cisco. I'm not going to read this. His
at?
Yeah, I'm not going to put that out there. Holy Jesse Winker has now become enemy number 1. He's a asshole. I hate him more than Hoskins. That's crazy because I think that was my first time ever playing in Citi Field.
In 2019, that's it, yeah.
And so for him to hate me more than a division rival, that seems like a stretch.
Yeah.
So something had happened right before you guys, the Reds, came to town. Hoskins had an incident with Jacob Rame, a former relief pitcher for the Mets. He homered, and he took like 30 seconds to circle the bases. He did like his normal thing out to the bullpen.
Okay.
and I think the benches kind of cleared a little bit, so that was fresh in the Mets fans' heads.
Got it.
So people were already mad and kind of boiling and looking for blood, and then you came along and entered the chat.
And then you
what
waved.
a bad time for me to do that.
That's
huh?
good context, though, right?
Wow, yeah.
Look at you now.
I had no idea.
Look at you now. Who'd have thought?
Yeah, who'd have thought?
Well, Hoskins is also back on the shit list. More has happened since then.
Yeah, I don't pay attention. But for him to hate me more, this seems like a stretch. This is a fabrication. This is emotionally speaking. This is a one.
You know what?
That's a stinker.
Yeah, that was, we'll move on from that. Oh, Clem at the Clem Report, which I met these guys in 2022 when I was in Seattle.
Okay.
KFC and them. They came to a game. I think I may have left them tickets. I don't know if I did. Don't quote me on that. I forget. But they had one of their Barstool Thursdays or Fridays, whatever, that stool in the park, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And I got to meet them. There was a rain delay, and we got to chop it up before a game. And, a lot of those guys are, their dads, their fathers. They're just passionate fans, right? So it was cool to kind of meet them. And that was the beginning of the end of the, I think, the hostility.
Okay.
Like the...
You guys round the turn there.
I think we were rounding third.
Okay.
We got to find some common ground, and we got to get to know each other a little bit. And I think from there, that's when it became like he's just playing. He's not like I had nothing ever against the fans. It was just kind of funny.
Yep.
All right, let me read this though. I've never hated a player that I care about less than just five, bro. That's legendary. May 1st, 2019, 9:56 p.m. I've never hated a player that I care about. It's true though.
I'm glad you like that.
I mean, absolutely nothing. I'm just a.
you were a big prospect. Come on.
Just an outfielder. That's it.
That's hilarious.
That's great. I'm keeping this one.
Okay.
That's good. I'm going to frame that. Tyler McGowan, 96. It appears that he's got a New York Mets orange beanie on.
Yes.
Why is Jesse? He sucks. LMAO. This is a good one too, man.
Harsh language.
Yeah, this is a classic case of I think he hates his facial hair.
It's not growing as he would like.
I think it is. It's patchwork here, but I'm not
Patches of
gonna.
Wuhan.
Yeah, it's this is another classic case of if we grabbed a coffee, I think he'd feel different. But
I think everybody would feel that way.
I think everyone does feel that way.
one,
now.
they'd get a free coffee, so I hope you don't think I'm a douche after that.
Coffee's
but
expensive here too.
Yeah, $7.
Where'd you go?
Starbucks.
No, Dunkin's not 7 at least. Yeah.
Yeah,
Go to a
but
local, mom and pop.
I'm still finding my way around.
Oh yeah, do you even know where you're living yet?
I am.
Okay.
I do know. When we get off this next road trip, I think I'll be moved in. So
Nice.
yeah.
Awesome. Well, now that we did virtual, do you have any quick stories of Mets fans in person of what you can remember? Like one specifically that sticks out to you?
Yeah, I do. I got a good one. So after all this went down, the social media thing was they were hammering me, which was great. At the time, I was, this is my second full season. I said it yesterday. I was younger, but mentally definitely younger minded. So there was a lot coming at me really quick. And I didn't really understand Mets fans until it was November. They were still waving at me.
Still going?
It was the season was over, but right after, I have no idea how this happened, but right after all that went down initially, 2 or 3 days after, at 1 or 2 in the morning, a Mets fan called my mom's cell phone number.
Wait, just a random Met fan got your mom's
Don't
number?
do that.
A random Met fan got my mom's number, and they called. And now my mom's, she's got 3 sons. When you get a call, now that I'm a parent, when you get a call at 2 in the morning, it's the last thing you want, because your mind starts spinning, whatever. So this poor lady, she answers the phone, and it's like a prank call from a Mets fan. It's
Oh my God.
hey, fuck Winker. I'm a Mets. Go Mets. Let's go Mets. You. Bye. My mom was sick, bro. And it was ended up being hilarious. She's a trooper. Shout out her. But yeah, man, that was probably the first real moment where I was maybe I was pranking the wrong crew here. they're gonna go, sneak diss me here for a minute. But we, like I said, we found common ground and we moved past it.
No, we kind of set you up here, but John has something to tell you about that call.
That was him. Yeah, that's great.
Jesse, I don't stay up past like 9 p.m., so it was not me.
No, it was great. No, it was fun. Like I said, it was always lighthearted. It was, the Barstool guys. I got to go on their podcast, and we got to talk about it in 2021, and it was really cool. I hit a home run in 2022, and I waved. What a douche! I waved after. I was like, "What am I doing?" But no, it's cool. It's I'm glad. I'm happy to be here. I'm excited. I'm excited to be here.
Your personality, I mean, I did meet him briefly one time, and you spent a lot of time with him as a teammate, Joey Votto.
Yeah.
How much, Joey, obviously a legend, Hall of Famer, and he was, when you came up, I'm sure a guy that you looked up to. How much did Joey Votto teach you about both on the field, but also off the field, and just enjoying it and having fun with it, not taking it too seriously?
I think that's the difference. Like, he's a Hall of Famer. So, like, when it comes to on-field and off-field, that, he has the right to mess with fans or do this or do that. Me, I don't know what I was doing, but it felt at the moment I was like, yeah, and that probably goes back to not really understanding like what you are in this game. But like Joey understands who he is, and he's the same guy every day. He's a hell of a teammate, like great person, and I've learned a ton from him on like preparing and all these other great things. He's helped me out so much. Being a young kid coming into the big leagues, having a veteran like that, you couldn't have picked a better one, especially him being a left-handed hitter and getting to learn from him, and then also like communicate what I'm doing hitting-wise too. It was really big for me, and he definitely helped me understand that like, you belong at this level and you're a good player. Like, so enjoy it. And so I'm very thankful for him. And there was a ton of other guys along the way as well.
Have you ever not had the best hair in a clubhouse?
Oh, this is new. I didn't know I had this potential. I was always a short hair guy. No,
look at that.
Thank God this team traded for you, not the other New York team, because all that hard work would be
beard gone, everything gone.
Personality gone.
I can't speak on that, bro. It's wild. You're bringing me into something I can't.
Well, you're not getting pissed the Met fans off.
You can't have beef with us anymore. Don't make them mad.
I wouldn't mess with them.
That's like I'm gonna look. They have their rules. Every team has rules to some degree.
Yeah. Stupid rule.
And when I heard it was the Mets, it was one of my early thoughts. Like, ooh, cool. I get to keep my beard and I get to keep my hair. So
there's only one team that would make you chop it off. Another former teammate question. Nick Castellanos, another former teammate of yours.
Deep drive. I call him deep drive.
Do you?
Deep drive.
All right. So like, is he gets it, right? Does he like it? Does he hate it?
I don't want to speak. I don't want to speak on him for that.
Sure.
Every time he hits a home run, you could go Google something bad happening in the world.
Well, it happened kind of recently.
I didn't know that. No.
That's hilarious. Like it's uncanny.
That's hilarious. I don't like. I don't see the like. Who else homered on that day? Like somebody else. I'm sure other guys
Francisco homered on that
I'm sure other guys, if we went and looked at, there's other guys that homered as well.
But not every single time, Jesse.
There's got to be somebody who's doing it, or like, hitting a three-pointer or something. There's got to be something going on, scoring a hockey goal. Like, we got to do more research.
It's a good project.
But no, I think, if I know Nick well enough, I'm sure he doesn't care. Like, he's... he's a great dude. He's another guy that it was like the first year we were teammates. We became close. I got to know his family. I was just becoming a father, especially going through like a whole co-parenting situation. He was able to help me so much with that, and things away from the field regarding being a father and learning about how to like navigate. That it was really cool. It was helpful. I've gotten a lot of good information from him with that, and I've learned a ton of lessons from him. Not only him, but his wife Jess as well. She's awesome, and she's been there for me as well to kind of guide me through this process.
Now, we talked about Jose Iglesias briefly before, but what was it like when you guys got reunited in the Mets clubhouse?
Yeah, he gave me a huge hug, man. It was cool. Being teammates with him in 19 was awesome. He's a great player. He's an electric player. And yeah, he's good people, very good people. JD's awesome. Francisco, Pete, the list goes on. Sean Reed Foley, Danny Young. There's a ton of guys in there that I've known. I was teammates with him at some point. So
Francisco Lindor, you played travel baseball with, right?
yeah, we played travel ball together. He's he was always the best player on the field growing up. And honestly, I'm just so happy I'm not playing against him anymore because he's been taking away hits from me forever now. So I remember I hit a rocket at him when I was in high school, and he made it look like it was nothing. Yeah, and I was like, damn. But yeah, he's awesome, man. Like, my opinion, he's one of the faces of baseball, and he really handles all of that so well.
Well, you're on his team now. You're on our side. So I want to do one last thing before we let you go here. One, you look right in the middle camera. That's your single shot.
The middle camera.
Yep. Sorry, the right camera.
The one pointed right at me. Yeah, that one.
Yep, that's the one. I got you. You got me.
He doesn't set the cameras.
No, I don't. I just show up and find the tweets. All right. I want you to tell the Mets fans how excited you are to be here and what they can expect from Jesse effin' Winker.
Do I have to say effin'?
You can say if you want.
Can I just say?
You can say Jesse
you can just say your name.
What up, Mets fans? It's Jesse Winker. I'm stoked to be here. And you know what? I'm gonna do whatever I can to help this team win. I'm gonna play hard and enjoy it. It's an exciting time. It's a playoff push, so I'm looking forward to helping any way I can. Let's go Mets.
Awesome. Thanks so much for joining us. You can follow us on Twitter at Vito F. Khaleesi, at JMB9191. Jesse doesn't have a Twitter, but apparently you could tweet at him.
Or about him.
About him.
And we'll talk about it on the show.
I think everyone else in my family does. So
don't tweet at his mom.
Yeah. Don't tweet it. Don't call his mom. Don't tweet. Leave his mom alone. She's been through enough because of that phone call. But Jesse, thanks so much, man, and we're excited to see the rest of the season, man.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Cool. That was our interview with Jesse Winker, but also that was our music from our impromptu band leader, Jordan Simpson. Jordan is joining the podcast today. We hung out with him a little. Jordan, thanks so much for being a part of this today, dude.
Pleasure being here.
Dude,
thank you.
Best intro we've had on Meet at the Apple. I've been telling Vito we need a little tunes to bring us
When
in.
have you ever said that?
In my head, I've thought that. Because Future of Flushing had the dun, 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 dun. Meet at the Apple never had those tunes. Never had those beats, that flow, that rhythm.
Because I just would use different music from the teaser to bleed in, but now Jordan just made us a song.
I like this better.
We'll just use that. Can we have that? Can we have the
Proprietary mix, the blend.
There you
use
go.
of that?
You got it, man.
Nice. Jordan made it before the game, and you'll see this at some point. But Jordan was making live music, and he made a walk-up song for Mark Vientos on the spot in under 5 minutes, and then Mark Vientos went on to hit a home run. So
That's right.
Some spirits shifted from your keyboard all the way to Mark Vientos.
Something happened. You knew.
So, dude, I've been wondering this because I love all the stuff that you do. How long have you been just into music in general? And then when did you say, I'm going to combine one of my hobbies, one of my passions with music, with another one, Mets baseball, and put out this amazing content that you do?
Yeah, so I've been a musician since I was 1.5. I started playing drums, being on my dad's back. Since then, my mom was like, yep, he's going to be a drummer. So we got a mini kid drum set, and it started from there. But my dad had a wedding band for a while growing up, so I was around music all the time. Very used to just being around rehearsals and being around musicians, and music just stuck to me. And I knew for a while, I love the Mets. I'm a diehard Mets fan, obviously, but I've always wanted to get into that world of being able to talk Mets and to be in it, but I haven't been able to because I would be a random musician talking Mets. Who's gonna want to talk to me, right? But I was thinking of it more of I was with a couple friends, actually. This is funny because I was in Nashville with a couple friends of mine where we're just talking big picture, what are cool things you want to do? And I said, I want to do something baseball and Mets related. Don't know what, but I just want to do something. I said baseball and Mets related, baseball and music related, but to do those things together. And I had a couple ideas. I did the SNY theme remixing, and that blew up. So I was like, okay, something's going here. And then, the responses and the support, it's been beyond surreal to do this and to combine both things because I have fun doing it, and then to see people come up to me and take pictures, it's dang, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's awesome, dude.
And one of your biggest ones, who would you say your biggest, because this season, in the offseason, you did acquisitions and you did signings.
Yeah.
What was like one of the biggest ones you did?
I know my favorite.
I know my favorite too, and there's a reason I'm bringing this up.
It's the biggest between, I think, Mania and Bader.
Sunshine Mania.
Yeah.
That's a great
And
one,
because
dude.
of that, I have for you a gift from us. Harrison Bader signed baseball.
No way. Oh, wow.
So that's for you.
Appreciate that, guys.
So-
wow. That's incredible.
So the Shawn Mania song.
Okay, can I have it back now? We can. No,
You're good.
The Shawn Mania
awesome.
song, which is an absolute bop, and it's a good transition because we're going to talk about Shawn's awesome start against the Twins on Tuesday night.
Mm-hmm.
How long did it take you to come up with that? Because if I recall correctly, that signing broke overnight. I think I woke up to that one.
Yeah.
And it felt like the next thing I knew, the Shawn Mania song was out, blowing up, as you said.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, this dude works fast.
that's funny because the last overnight signing was had to do with the Twins, but we'll move on from that.
But yeah, that one, it's funny because I woke up, that was a Sunday morning, so I had church all morning. And I remember seeing the notification. I texted Greg, the jingle man, shout out him. And I texted him like 7, like, bro, Shawn Mania, what are you thinking? And I sent him a couple ideas. He sent one back, and I was like, Mania. And I got like, Shawn Mania. I'm like, okay, we're on to something there. And he was sending some ideas back, and we had the idea. And so he sent me like a video of him singing it. I'm like, okay, when I get home, I'm booking it and we're doing it. I ate my lunch, and I was like, bye, Mom. I'm there. I'm working on the video. Did it, posted it, did not expect it to like do as well as it did. But like, it took, from the time I started actually working on everything, I started maybe at around like 2:30 that day, finished it at around 5:30 with all the edits and all the stuff like that, and then posted it, and then it took off. And then I think Shawn actually responded. He's like, "Thank you, brother." I'm like, "Oh, thank you."
He's like that.
Yeah.
He's the man like that.
Sean is the and we've talked to players about this, but Sean is like a big reason of why the clubhouse has become so like vibe heavy. Yeah. When we spoke to Harrison Bader and Mark Vientos and we were asking them about their handshake with the photography snap, Bader told us that Mania is the guy who came in and was like, "We all need handshakes."
And you saw it on Tuesday, Bader and the little twirl. I know they've been doing it.
We talked about that with them.
Yeah.
And then I have a note. I was in the dugout and I heard Bader say to Mania right before the spin, "Oh, my king," and then spin him around.
Oh my gosh.
A little insider information. So the Mets made a couple acquisitions recently.
Yes.
Have you figured out what the Huáscar Barazaban song is going to be?
It's funny you asked that because we're gonna have that coming out.
You guys got it figured out?
Oh yeah, no, we have the idea coming. It's probably gonna be probably Friday is gonna come out.
Okay.
I think right now.
All right, you don't have to spoil it. Unless you do want to break some news here. I mean, at the Apple, we're always
That
down.
would be the biggest breaking news we've ever had on the show.
Well, we'll see. It'll be fun. It'll be fun.
All right, he had a really good Mets debut on Wednesday, so
Yes, he did.
helping the brand, which is going to help
Yes,
help
sir.
out the song. What about some other ones that stick out to you? Some of your favorite pieces that you've done, Mets related.
Oof. Ottavino was a fun when he came back. That was a fun one. Bader and Mania were so much fun. I think the recaps are also fun. That's like a whole other animal.
That's a cool thing you've done because a lot of fans, like, you don't have time to watch every single game.
Yeah.
So your series recaps are like a miniature version of our podcast, basically.
Sure.
Like, it's just a quick way to get like a minute of information and find out what happened in a few games. So
Right.
you're doing a
Tuned.
great job.
Yeah, those are fun.
For the
A lot of
TikTok
art.
generation.
Sure.
All
Yeah.
these damn kids.
Yeah.
Well,
No, those are fun.
we're happy you're here with us today. We're happy that you were able to come out. Yeah. What we did out there with the Vientos walk-up song was awesome, and then him hitting the home run like Vito mentioned, so cool.
Clockwork.
Let's talk a little bit about the series and really the more so the acquisitions that the Mets made and the impact that these guys are going to have moving forward.
Yeah, I think we would just talk about the series we saw. The only thing we really wanted to talk about, just because there's so much stuff to cover, is Shawn Mania had an absolutely amazing game on Saturday.
Tuesday. The days of the week are blending.
It's not even that. It's that when there's a day game,
It feels like Sunday.
it feels like Sunday.
It does.
And remember, I flew in on like Thursday.
He's still on Greek Island time.
So
Yeah,
I just this feels like the end of the week for me.
The end of the homestand's always crazy.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I mean, dude, Shawn was electric against the Minnesota Twins team that really does not strike out that much, but he had that upside down. 11 strikeouts, 7 scoreless innings on Tuesday, 23 total swings and misses, tied for the second most in a single start in his career. 8 of them with the four-seam fastball, 8 of them with the sweeper, and I want to talk about that sweeper because no pitcher in baseball to this point has a higher whiff rate with the sweeper than Shawn's. He has gotten a swing and a miss on 45.2% of the swings against that sweeper. It has been a dominant pitch for Sean, who has been such a great acquisition for the Mets, and the best start he's put forth in the orange and blue came on Tuesday night against a Twins team that, let's not forget, is right now occupying an American League wildcard spot.
Yeah, and it was the Mets' third shutout of the year, and that's all since what, like June, mid-June.
Yeah.
I mean, the shutout took a while to get to, but that's the Mets' third shutout of the year.
No, July, I think, because remember the shutout meme?
Yeah, I remember the shutout meme, but it was...
No, when we ripped up the paper.
I remember that, but I think that was in June.
It was the National Series. It was the National Series here.
Oh, you're
right before the break. I think it was right before the Rockies
July
series.
13th.
9, 10, 11. It was 9, 10, 11. I think it was the 11th. July 11th.
July 11th.
That was the
Okay.
getaway Thursday game against the Nats, and the Rockies came
So
in.
3 since then, which is awesome to see. And yeah, Sean and I just looked absolutely electric. He's been really fun to watch all season. And it's crazy because I was saying this to John before the podcast started. Like the beginning of the season, he was finding ways to win, but it was like usually like low strikeouts. You were like seeing 3 to 6 strikeouts a game usually, but an 11 strikeout game, season high. Just awesome to see. And then, the offense was also, offense was moving on, what was it, Monday? Monday, the offense was absolutely outrageous. And like just to keep on the like screw the Bronx train, all I was doing was looking at the Yankee score, and I was like, I just want to score more runs than them tonight.
Well, they kind of helped the Mets out this week a little bit.
Well, of course they did.
Yeah, so thank you, Yankees. I think.
Thanks, guys.
Sort of. Something like that. You'll never hear that again on this show. But yeah, I mean, for the Mets to take 2 or 3 from the Twins, like I mentioned, good team, and to do it in 2 totally different ways. The duality of a team to put up 15 runs and make a position player pitch on Monday and then win a 2-0 game on Tuesday. It's important to be able to win different kinds of games. And the Mets did that against the Twins. They take care of business, so a good homestand. And like we mentioned, the Mets make some additions to the roster. A pretty busy trade deadline day, I'd say, for the Mets, of course.
Yeah.
It's funny. Everyone, when you make a trade a couple days before the deadline, it saps the stupid, like, artificial excitement from the fan base. The Mets had acquired Jesse Winker on Tuesday in the lead up to 6 p.m. on Tuesday.
Well, and Stanek had already been...
Right, and Stanek was already acquired. Everyone would be going crazy. And the Mets also acquired Phil Maton earlier in the month, so they were already improving the bullpen areas that they identified as having needs in. And people are like, oh, they only made 3 deals. It wasn't enough. Well, if they had gotten Jesse Winker on Tuesday, the perception would be a lot different. But
for sure,
the Mets did a great job shoring up the areas of needs. The bullpen, I'm so excited for this bullpen. To add Huáscar Brazoban, to add Paul Blackburn, who now gives you the ability to probably keep Jose Butto in the bullpen, put a Tyler McGill in the bullpen. You get stronger there. Reed Garrett starting a rehab assignment. Sean Reed-Foley made his second rehab assignment for Double-A Binghamton on Wednesday. Daniel Nunez, as we said, the injury, not a long-term thing. This is going to be a really, really deep bullpen when they're finally back at full strength.
And we've made jokes about this with each other about, like, we've said things like, oh, sometimes coming back from an injury is just like a trade deadline acquisition. But here it's really true because we're at the deadline. These guys are coming back soon. And also trading for somebody like Blackburn, you get those additional bullpen pieces because then you get to move Tyler McGill into the bullpen. You get to keep Jose Butto in the bullpen. So it's just all addition.
You said joke. I want to tell a joke. I have a joke.
Your segues?
It's fine.
Your segues are a joke.
Whatever. April flowers bring May showers. But what do May flowers bring? Pilgrims.
He feels good right now.
Go on. You want to talk about Paul Blackburn?
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know what? Before we even talk about the players we acquired,
You guys have to laugh in here. This is awkward.
I laugh.
Why am I getting why am I getting head shakes and looks of disgust and disdain?
Anyway.
Ty, I'm not coming tomorrow. I'm kidding. I'm coming.
Anyway, before we move on to the guys we got in the trade deadline, I do want to just mention some really great players, some really great future Major League players got traded away from the team. And, it happens, and we all love our prospects. We like hugging our prospects like Ernest does.
I hug them tight.
And it's all guys that we've gotten the chance to speak to, which is...
Isn't that funny?
It's pretty special. Like, we've spoken to Wilfredo Lara, we've spoken to Tyler Stewart, we've spoken to Paul Gervais, we've spoken to Cade Morris. Paul Gervais and Tyler Stewart we spoke to on the same day.
That's right. Yeah, we did.
So just the best of luck to all of the players that were traded at the deadline. I'm sure we're all going to see them at some point.
100%.
Tyler Stewart we'll probably see sooner than you think, especially because he's just right over in D.C. That's a division rival. But best of luck to all those guys. They're all really talented players. But, it's a business. And as a Mets fan, I'm pumped at what we're going for this year.
Yeah, the additions are really, really interesting in that the Mets didn't move any what you'd call top-end talent.
No, look at these other teams. Well, first of all, David Stern's pretty much all these trades were 1-for-1. Looks like every other trade that went through was like this gigantic package.
Like 4-for-1. The prices were crazy. What the Blue Jays got for Yusei Kikuchi.
It's the opposite of Black Friday.
What the Angels got for Carlos Estevez. And so let's start with Huáscar Brazoban, who, to me, on paper, may not be having as good of a season as Carlos Estevez, but he's right there. A 2.93 ERA entering Wednesday. He actually lowered that with a clean inning against the Twins. A FIP that's even better at 2.63 entering Wednesday. So not smoke and mirrors whatsoever.
And control.
And team control, he will be part of this team moving forward, which you love to see. Strikeout rate around 27%, a walk rate around 8%, so he controls what he can control. And he's got 3 fastballs. He throws a cutter, he throws a sinker, and he throws a four-seamer. He also has a changeup that he dominates lefties with. He doesn't throw it as much to righties, as is the case with a lot of right-handed pitchers and their changeups, but he is extremely effective, lots of whiffs, not a lot of hard contact whatsoever. And like I said, if you compare him, if you do a blind resume, a little nod to the show we do at Citi Field, and you do player A, player B, player C, and you put maybe Estevez, and you put Sir Anthony Dominguez, and you put Huáscar Brazoban, his numbers stack up right with the other guys. So the Mets did a great job identifying Brazoban as a guy who they wanted to go out and get him at a price that was in their ballpark. So I love the addition of Huáscar Brazoban, and Mets fans already, even though he was rocking his Marlins glove on Wednesday, we're going to have to get a little blue and orange, swap out the neon colors.
Speaking of gloves, did you see Harrison Bader's Siegelman Stable glove?
No.
He put it up on Instagram. I don't think he actually used it.
No, he hasn't used it yet.
But he put
got
it
a
up.
Siegelman Stable glove?
Yeah, and it is absolutely electric.
That's incredible.
But a guy I want to talk about, Tyler Zuber.
Yeah.
So that was Paul Gervais for Tyler Zuber, straight up.
Yep.
Reached out to my buddy who's from Tampa, diehard Rays fan, just to be like, oh, hey, man, you got a good one in Paul Gervais. And he was telling me, he was like, Tyler Zuber has some nasty stuff, was telling me all about him. And one of the main things you're going to see from him, he has options, which has already been used. Like he got traded, and those options were already put into effect. And we've seen this with this club this year. Options are the most valuable part of a bullpen arm.
And you can utilize, if you throw a lot of pitches, you can be sent down and get a fresh arm without risking losing a guy, putting him through waivers. But Zuber's really reinvented himself. He's really improved the shape of his pitches. He's a cutter slider guy. Like I said, he was pitching an indie ball and has brought himself to where he is right now. The Mets identified him as a guy that they wanted to go out and get, and as a guy that can help the Mets this year moving forward. So really excited about that move as well. Another piece, like you said, the option ability. Not just the Mets, all teams like having relievers with options. It's crucial.
Modern baseball.
You're kind of stuck when you have a bullpen of guys that don't have options because you don't want to risk losing them when you designate a guy
That's
for
what
assignment.
happened last year.
Yeah, so having option ability really, really helps the team stay fresh and not overworking guys, not overtaxing guys. So that's great. And then there's Paul Blackburn, who I assimilate to a guy who the Mets also got from Oakland, and that's Chris Bassett.
Yeah.
And I say that because he's a guy that throws 6 different pitches, all at least 10% usage or higher, like Chris Bassett did, who was a guy that threw the kitchen sink at you, who doesn't throw overwhelmingly hard, but he mixes and matches and changes speeds and comes up and down and in and out, pitches vertically and horizontally, and he's very effective in doing so. And he's going to be a great back end of the rotation addition to the Mets. His off-speed stuff is especially effective in the 90th percentile in baseball when it comes to off-speed run value. So this is a guy who I don't want fans to overlook. It's not the big sexy name. It's not Blake Snell, but Paul Blackburn could be an absolute steal for the Mets. And like we said before, he gives the Mets the option to move a guy that like Tyler McGill to the bullpen, keep a Jose Buto in the role that he's been so effective in. And then you insert Paul Blackburn, who's been really, really good this season.
And he has an extra year of control as well, right?
Yes, he does. Which
you do have to start thinking about this year because a lot of guys on this team are on deal. Like Sean Manaea has an opt-out.
Yes, he does, and he's been so good. I mean, I'm not going to say it, but I'm not going to give his agent any advice. Not that he needs it.
Quintana's done after this year.
That's right. Severino signed a one-year deal.
So
that's right.
You got to start thinking about that now. Like, get ahead of it. And there are some guys in the minor leagues. Like, we have Christian Scott. There's guys like Dom Hamill and Mike Vassell who could always get a chance. But
by the way, Mike Vassell, Tuesday night for Syracuse.
I saw
7 innings, 1 run, 8 strikeouts. Dominant performance. He's been great recently, so really excited about that.
Yeah, the Mets have a ton of look. When you see a guy like Tyler Stewart or Paul Gervais get traded, you're like, damn, look at these look at these gigantic behemoths of athletes getting traded from the Mets.
Both centers on the pickup team.
We got tons of those in Mets player development.
100%.
This team had a real, what's the word?
Wealth?
Wealth.
A
But
dearth?
like you could see that there was a strategy.
D.
There was definitely a strategy for
Starts with a D.
There was a strategy in pitching, in drafting and signing these gigantic pitchers.
Yeah, they have some other guys.
Like
Junior Santos.
Yeah, Junior
And they had
Santos.
another one, Sammy Tavares, not too
Junior
not too long
Santos, who's
ago.
going to have to wear a new number if he gets up to the Mets, right?
Yes, he will. Yes, he will. But Paul Blackburn, Mets fans will not have to wait long to see him make his debut. He is actually going to start on Friday at Angel Stadium.
They're going to have to wait long because it's 10 p.m.
I know. But it's funny because Paul Blackburn's last start overall came last Friday at Angel Stadium.
Okay.
And he's been great against his career against the Angels, so it's a nice soft landing. 6 career starts
So
against
this
the
won't do
Angels.
anything.
No, it won't.
This won't do anything.
I don't know what's going to help out there.
Don't say that.
I know. We're six starts, 4-0, 3.27 ERA. So a place he's comfortable pitching in, obviously having been in the American League West for so long. So really excited to see Paul Blackburn. Have no idea what the Mets' plan is after Blackburn goes. I think it's going to be Quintana and Peterson. I'm not entirely sure. They haven't announced what Saturday or Sunday are going to look like, but a long, long road trip coming up for the Mets. They'll be gone for quite some time now. So.
And a very important, basically a playoff game in the middle of there against the St. Louis Cardinals.
Right, the one game, 5 o'clock start, by the way, Eastern time. On,
Yeah, Jordan and I were talking about that before, and that's a 4 o'clock start there.
It's because they have to travel to Colorado, so it was a courtesy. If they played a 7 o'clock game, the Mets would then have to board a flight from St. Louis and go to Colorado. That would be buns. Did the kids say buns?
Not so much anymore.
No. What year was that? When
He doesn't have a
I
mic.
think that was like prime Fortnite.
People are still playing Fortnite, Ty.
I don't know.
I have it on good authority. Fortnite's still
Are
popping.
you still playing Fortnite?
I have never played Fortnite once in my
Dude,
life.
there's no tutorial, so I tried to play it, and I was like, what the hell?
I'm a COD guy. Does that age me?
No.
No, COD's still cool.
We talked to a player. That interview will go out later. He didn't say it on the podcast, but he made a hilarious COD reference.
Yeah. So
But anyway, Angels series this
Angel
weekend.
series this series. No Mike Trout. Which
No Mike Trout, but the return of Kevin Pillar.
I was going to bring up Kevin Pillar because he's been one of the best hitters on the
I'm
Angels.
surprised he's still there.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a player that a team might want to target. Good defense out in the outfield and 824 OPS. He's definitely cooled off a little bit. He was talking like 800 for a month. That's kind of calmed down a little bit, but he's had a great resurgent season. So
Wait, which pitch to the face is more impressive, him or James McCann?
McCann caught 9 innings, dude.
Yeah, I know. That was crazy.
I
dude.
know that was rather nuts.
That was insane to see.
Yeah.
Today, what happened?
What happened
He
today?
started today, but he had like a mask.
Oh yeah,
on.
yeah.
Oh, he wore the
Goalie.
Batman mask?
But like, man, oof.
And then he has to put the catcher's mask over
On
that.
top of that.
It's,
But on the
it's rough.
the day he got hit and he had like the cotton swabs up his nose, I was like, this is, I wouldn't be able to podcast like that.
Leading by example, James
Bleeding by
McCann.
example. Get it? Bleeding by example.
Bleeding by example.
Leading by example.
I'm good.
Matt's got Sean Mania.
But so important games coming up because
Huge.
you have to win, you have to beat the bad teams.
You do.
And it's not a given.
It's not. Joe Adell's a guy that Mets fans should keep an eye on. Joe Adell was a massive prospect, 10th overall pick. I think 2018, 2019. Came up in 2020, was probably rushed a little bit, came up at the age of 20, and struggled for a while. And some people thought that he might be a bust. Some people thought that the Angels might just give up on him, DFA him. There was chatter like that. The Angels didn't do it. They stuck with him, and he's finally come into his own. He has 16 home runs this year, which is tied with Taylor Ward for the team lead. And the Angels are going to throw a couple tough pitchers. Friday night's going to be Tyler Anderson, who's having a really nice season. He was a guy that some people thought might be traded, but he has one more year on his 3-year contract that he signed. So the Angels, who, look, they play in a market that they're competing head-to-head with the Dodgers. We all know, of course, that they lose the biggest icon in the world when it comes to this sport to the Dodgers. Like, they can't be punting seasons. That's not a thing that team can do. So they hold on to Tyler Anderson, and the Mets are going to see Tyler Anderson. They're going to see Jose Soriano on Saturday, who also has had a really good season. He was strictly a reliever in 2023. He's been used as a starter this year, ERA under 3.5. And then Griffin Canning on Sunday, who's had a really tough season, a guy who was a pretty big prospect coming up. He leads the American League in earned runs allowed, which is not something that you want to lead in. And I was talking about Mike Trout before. And it's a shame that Mike Trout has kind of had the injury luck that he has had. He's had a couple setbacks now on his rehab stints. He's a Hall of Famer no matter what, I think, at this point, with all the MVPs and all the accolades. But it just sucks because, I don't know, like...
He went from being
He was the best player in baseball.
and he went from a universally agreed on, like, Mike Trout might go down as the best player of all time.
Yeah.
He was on that track. And
Mickey
like,
Mantle.
He was on the track too. And then, like, look, a few things happened. One, you have a guy like Shohei Ohtani come up, and it's hard to compete with that as, like, who's the best of all time at that point. And then the injuries just don't help. But it sucks.
And what also sucks with Trout?
Can I say one thing?
Say one
I feel
thing.
like he never, every chance I've had to see Mike Trout live, I've not been able to, whether it be here or Yankee Stadium. Anytime I've tried to see Mike Trout live,
A lot of
it
injuries.
just fell apart.
Yeah. I was going to say that it's unfortunate that we haven't been able to see this caliber player on the biggest stage.
Yeah.
The Angels haven't made the playoffs since 2014 when they got swept by the Royals. And that's it as far as playoffs go. So it's a shame. It's a shame how it all went down with Trout. I hope that he can get healthy and come back and, put a couple more great seasons up and add to his career accolades. But the Mets won't be seeing Mike Trout this weekend at Angel Stadium. So if you're going, let us know. I mean, have you been to Angel Stadium?
No, dude. A few years ago, I went in 2019. I went to LA for a week. The Dodgers weren't home. Actually, I left on Sunday. The Mets came to LA on Monday, and I didn't get to go. But I went to a Padres game, and then I couldn't get anybody who lived in LA to go to an Angels game with me because they were saying the traffic to get there is so annoying.
Gotcha. I have two. The Mets and Angels have had some great games, although they don't play very often. One of them was the one we talked with Evan Roberts about.
Yeah.
The Cliff Floyd walk-off. 2014, the Mets played a 13-inning game. I don't miss those. At Angel Stadium. Do you guys remember who hit the go-ahead home run? A catcher for the Mets in extra innings.
2014.
It was the night before Bartolo gave up the 4 solo home runs in the first inning the next day.
2014.
David Wright also had a great ejection at Angel Stadium back in the day.
Darnell?
No.
Was it was he part of the?
I'll give you a clue.
Was
He's handsome.
handsome. Is it Kevin Plawecki?
Nikias?
It was 20. Actually, I think it was 2013. It was 2013. It was
I have to
2013.
go back.
Yeah, 2013.
Were they part of the R.A. Dickey trade?
No, that was Darno.
No, not Darno. Who's
Mike Nikias? The Josh Tolley? It's neither of the two of them.
John Buck was
Not John Buck.
Because John Buck was part of the Darno trade, wasn't he?
He was not. No, he
What
just was
trade
there
was
in
he
20.
part of?
John Buck?
Yeah.
I don't know. I know he had the huge April 2013, but it wasn't him.
Well, I don't know, man.
Catch him on TV. Anthony Recker.
Wrecker. Oh my gosh.
You know what's funny? I said Plawecki and I was thinking Wrecker. Damn.
Plawecki didn't come up till later, like 2016, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
This is good radio.
a great moment at Angel Stadium for the New York Mets. And then, like I said, Cologne gave up the back-to-back. Was it back-to-back? I don't think it's back-to-back.
You know what I'm going to name this episode? You know what's going
Howie
to get?
Kendrick hit one of those. But
Buck was in the trade, by the way.
which trade?
He was traded by the Blue Jays.
In the Mets got him with Dickey,
Yeah.
And then he was traded.
and they also got Wilmer Bucera, right, the outfielder, who never. Yeah.
John loves talking to people who don't have microphones on this podcast, and it drives me
Well, get
crazy.
some more microphones, or you guys got to speak up.
Anyway, you know what I'm going to name this episode? I'm going to name this episode Mets all-time Mets Angels moments. That's what's going to get people to
Do we
click
have any
this
others?
episode.
Do we have any others? I can't think of another one.
Well, recently my favorite was when Diaz had the 5-out save.
Oh, that's right. The Sunday night
Yeah.
game.
Sunday night
game.
was
That's right.
electric.
You know what mine is? When Ohtani hit the board.
I was here for that.
Oh.
That was special.
Oh, how about Rafael Ortega's walk-off hit? Who could forget the Peacock
Sure.
game?
I believe it was one of the first recaps I ever did. That
Really?
Series,
Wow.
Yeah, that was
Rafael
August of
Ortega,
last year.
that series last year.
Yeah.
Let's act like we
Sang and
planned.
pitched on Friday night.
That was the first recap I did. Yep. Because I said, Kodai Senga went and pinched well. Ohtani came and hit missiles with a torn UCL. See, that came back to me.
That's
The whole
incredible.
thing.
And he had just torn it right before they came to
I was
town.
Yeah.
panicking because I was
Yeah.
coming to the series. I'm like, please, I want to see Shohei. Please let him hit selfishly. And he hit, so I was happy.
I saw Ohtani pitch once, and it was that awful game at Yankee Stadium.
Which one?
The one that he, like, where,
Wait,
like,
the game that like went all night in
yeah.
2021?
Yeah, like, and it was like 8-1 in the first inning.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Angels won that game.
I know.
Jared Walsh had a go-ahead grand slam against Chapman.
I'm not going to lie to you. I left after the first rain delay because Ohtani was out of the game in every way, and I was like, I'm not staying. Because remember, the Ohtani rule didn't exist yet.
Yeah, he also pitched the next year there. There was a doubleheader. I was there working, and he got beat up again. What's up? Oh, you're at both those games. You were at the doubleheader. Jamison Tyone took a perfect game into the 7th in game 2.
Jameson Tyone.
Jamison Tyone.
Interesting.
Chicago Cub, Jamison Tyone. Anyway, what do we have to look forward to when the Mets are back in town, Vito?
Well, one thing, the Coca-Cola food truck, the new quesadillas at the Coca-Cola food truck, everybody here's talking about.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm a huge Dilla guy. What's your go-to Dilla? Let's get everyone's Dilla order.
I like a buffalo chicken quesadilla, but I haven't had one in a while. But here, it's a chicken quesadilla and a steak quesadilla. The chicken one is out of this world. Ty had it, loved it. I got one
Did
for
you love
Jordan
it?
today. He loved it.
It was great.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that your perfect quesadilla?
I get judged all the time for my basic food orders, but like my basic quesadilla would be either cheese and steak or cheese and chicken, or if I'm feeling ambitious, maybe some onions. But like that's feeling like ambitious.
You know how I knew that you were not a safe eater?
Yeah.
Because when I was like, "Hey man, like I'm gonna get you food. What do you want?" I saw you be like, it was like I asked him a pop quiz question. He was like, anything. I'm like, "Oh, just tell me what you want, man. I'll get you some food right now and do it." And he was just like, you know.
That's how some people are when you ask them what kind of a song would you want to hear during a fireworks show. They're like, I don't know. I need 4 days to think about it.
Are you talking about certain people who like others might watch on TV?
Yeah. So the quesadilla was good?
Really, really good.
All right. I'm going to check that out next time.
Cool.
What else we got going? We got Queen's Night.
Yeah, could you tell everybody about Queen's Night?
So the 13th and the 14th, 2-night thing, Queen's Night. It's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, we're going to honor the amazing borough that is Queens with all the culture of Queens. There will be some special foods, special features during both those nights. We might do a fun little thing on Wednesday the 14th, putting different neighborhoods up against each other during an in-game, I don't want to call it a segment. It's going to be the whole night tied and looped together. So that'll be a lot of fun. It's going to be a great, great time against the Oakland Athletics. They'll be here in town. Then we got Baltimore.
My buddy Gabe is coming to a game.
Is he?
He's coming to the day game against the Athletics.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Thursday, okay. And then we got the Marlins in town for the weekend.
Yeah.
Fireworks night on Friday, final one of the year.
Only 9 days in August.
9, that's it.
And I was saying this to Jordan, like as an employee, it's nice because you're going to get some time at home. You're going to get to see your family. But as the Mets fan in me that's always there, I'm like, man, I wish I could go to some games.
Well, I'm in trouble, dude. Like these 10 o'clock starts,
I'm staying up for every single one.
God bless you.
I gotta.
You got to.
The recaps I have to watch as much as I can.
Yeah, I know. We got screwed by ESPN, by the way.
For the
They took the Seattle Sunday game.
I know. Ala was like, my wife was like, we're going
So now we'll be up till midnight.
we're going to a pool party on that Sunday, and I was like, oh, it's a West Coast game. So like I was like, I guess it'll start at 4. And she was like, oh no, I looked at the schedule before I said yes for you. It's at 7, and my heart dropped.
So Vito's slurring a little bit. He had a little too much sun.
No, I'm not gonna. I'm driving to Jersey and back.
No, I wasn't saying sun can make you loopy.
I'm driving to Jersey and back. That's gonna be a big day for me.
What part of Jersey?
I didn't ask questions.
Oh, just somewhere in New Jersey.
Somewhere
it's a
in
big
the
state, you know.
Somewhere in the Garden State.
It's a big state.
It's pretty big.
It is.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got to wrap this one up. This is a long episode. Jordan, thanks so much
No problem.
for joining us.
You want another joke?
Hit at me. Oh my god.
I don't have one, honestly. Yeah. I wanted you to say no. Shut up, John.
Jordan, can you play us out?
What do you want?
You're the musician, dude.
How about the Shawn Mania tune? Can you do
No,
that?
wait. I don't think you can
I mean,
because it's not. It's a parody, so it's like.
Oh, we're gonna get
It's a
flagged.
real song, so
Oh,
we'll get in trouble.
Vito's really strict about even if I whistle a song that's licensed, he doesn't like that.
it's okay.
Yeah.
So,
Whatever you want to hit us with, we enjoy it. We enjoy it. We appreciate it.
but before, wait, you know what? Play it, and then I'm going to do our outro plugs as
Gotcha.
you do it.
Cool.
Thanks for listening to this podcast. I'm Vito Calisi. That's Jonathan Barron. You can follow me on Twitter at Vito F. Calisi. Jonathan on Twitter at JMB9191. JR Simpson Music
Yes,
on
sir.
Twitter and Instagram, where you can see all the series recaps. And this podcast is available on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Leave us a 5-star review if you can. Leave us some ratings. Leave us some reviews. Leave us some comments. Thank you all for listening, and we will see you next time.
Let's go Mets.